Hi everyone, this is a reaction video to Stardusk's recent videos lately about the social dysfunction in places like America especially. He recently did 2 videos with Wandering Wojak about the social dysfunction in the West. Basically how people are atomized, antisocial, and don't value things like friendships and things like that as much as they used to. And even though I live in Melbourne, I can still relate to a lot of this because Australia is basically America light. A lot of the things that go on in America, Australia follows suit, you know. Like America's a few years ahead on a lot of stuff, but Australia eventually follows, and you know, along with that has come the anti-socialists. Like there's this stereotype that Aussies are, you know, friendly and standing by a barbecue, frying shrimp on the barbie, you know, drinking beer in their blow-up pools, laid back. But that Australia is pretty much gone, you know, like especially in the last maybe 20 years or so. Like before then, like even in the 90s, but before that it's definitely like the 80s and that. Like a lot of boomers have told me that Australia is just a lot different. Like it's a lot easier to get a job, people are more laid back, people talk to their neighbours more, but it's just not like that anymore. Like it's still a bit like that in small towns. Like a friend of mine in Bendigo, she says that a lot of people talk to their neighbours, a lot of people are friendly to strangers and that, but you won't see that at all in Melbourne or Sydney. Like it just doesn't happen. And people in Melbourne are very antisocial, very stuck up, very like they only want to associate you if it benefits them in some way. It's hard for people to make friends here. Like I have some friends, but they're scattered all over the place. It's frustrating, you know, having to travel there and that. But yeah, I'm glad that I'm friends with them. Like they're great people. But it's just annoying, like just the social dynamics in Melbourne. It's pretty rough, and most people in Melbourne are superficial. They only care about money and status, and you just see it everywhere, and it's just bloody frustrating. And yeah, pretty much everything Stardust has been saying about it, I can just relate to it. I never travelled to America, the mainland. I've only been to Hawaii, or Honolulu. So yeah, it's not a great indication, but yeah, I've watched a lot of videos about that, and definitely is fucked up over there in terms of the social aspect. Like it's very bad here, but it's even worse there, so it just boggles my mind. And you know, I get that there are parts of America where people are friendly still, you know, like maybe in the South, like some areas, maybe. But yeah, generally it's, you know, antisocial. But yeah, you know, I'm just all about solutions, really. Like you know, you can rant all day about it, you know, talk about it, but you know, what are the answers? And the only answer that I can come up with is just to move outside the West. As simple as that. But yeah, obviously you need money and plan it, and I'm not really sure where I'd want to go anyway. Like South America does interest me, but because, you know, I'm sick of Melbourne, I'm sick of Australia, like, and there's not much option in Australia either. Like Australia's got a very unified culture. Like there is differences, you know, between the states, but it's nothing like America. Like America's very diverse, but Australia, it's kind of more of the same. I mean, yeah, there's not much difference, you know. Like, you can move to the other side of the country and there's not much difference really. But yeah, Melbourne's definitely the social justice warrior, feminist capital. You know, there's hipsters everywhere in the inner suburbs. That it doesn't help living in Melbourne, like being around these people. Well, I can't relate to most people in Melbourne. I really can't. Like in the inner suburbs, you got those fake liberals that I call them, like, fake liberal identitarians, because, you know, they're not even real liberals. Like, they're fakes. Like, real liberals are supposed to be about freedom of speech. They're supposed to be about tolerance, accepting other people. But these fake liberals, you know, they're arrogant, they're hate-filled. Like, these hipsters, like, they're just full of arrogance, and I just can't stand being around these tofu munching, tight jeans wearing, you know, fuckwits. Like, I don't like to deal with them. And also in the outer like, if you go away from the city, like the outer suburbs, there's a lot of bogans. And I mean, sure, the people are more down to earth, they are more friendly, but it's still, you know, it's still below par. And I can't relate to a lot of them, because, you know, like, there's a lot more hoons around, and, you know, bogans, and more of a meathead I mean, the majority of people, they're not bad. It's not like they're, you know, committing crimes and that, but it's more just their attitude. Like, they're just got different values to me. Like, I can't relate to people in the outer suburbs, and that's where I live. Like, I live in the outer suburbs. I just can't relate to people around here. So yeah, like, they just, I don't know how to explain it. Just like a different attitude to life. Yeah, I don't know what it's called over there in America, but like in Australia, they basically, inner cities are called inner suburbs here. Like, you know, and then I'm trying to think how to explain it. Like, yeah, inner city, like, they're called inner suburbs here, and then middle suburbs are like it's suburbia basically, but it's kind of close to the inner city, like the inner ring suburb. And then you got the outer suburbs, which is like the fringe of the metropolitan area, basically. You know, like, if that makes sense, because I'm pretty sure it's different terms over there, but yeah, that's basically, yeah. And like what I said about Melbourne, about the whole layout of the metropolis, like, it's pretty much the same in most the other cities. Like, the closer to in Australia, like, the closer you go to the city, the more expensive it is. So there's not as many bogan types there, but you got the hipsters instead. And, you know, I can't relate to any group, like, you know, and it's like you can't really have an intelligent conversation with a lot of bogans. It's just, but yeah, like I said, I'm just so eager for solutions, and I can't think of anything besides leaving the country, to be honest. And like I said, you can talk and rant all day about it, like, it doesn't really change it. And I just really can't stand the social dysfunction. I hate it. But, you know, like, I'm all about solutions and answers, and what are they? If anyone has any ideas, leave them in the comments. And this is the first video I've ever, like, first proper video I've ever done. Like, there are videos on my channel, but this is the actual first one. To be honest, I have a lot of insecurities about my voice, you know, like, I don't know, like, I'm a bit embarrassed about my voice, and, you know, but that's why I've never really done any till now. But, you know, I think it's time to step up to the plate with these things, because, you know, it's very important to me, you know, like, the social dysfunction, the social isolation, the loneliness, it's epidemic levels. I mean, I don't really have it in my life to a large degree, but so many people do. Like, I do have friends, but you know, I still feel lonely sometimes, and it is an epidemic, and there needs to be answers to it. And I'm glad that Stardusk has been doing videos about it. Yeah, because you know, he's giving it the attention it deserves. So yeah, if anyone has any ideas on what any solutions are, leave them in the comments. And you know, as Stardust says, assuming I'm still alive, you know, there'll be another video soon. But so yeah, thanks for listening.